There's NFL football tonight.
Feels different.
Hey, there's an NFC East matchup that we have no idea what the hell is going to happen. There's a 3.5-point spread. There's magic cooking. It's the Washington football team favored over the New York Giants. New York Giants look terrible.
Yeah. Bad.
Washington football team did not look bad. They lose their starting quarterback, but no, lo and behold, the Heineke, the almost playoff god for them last year is now starting, and I think this is going to be a great matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Both these teams have a lot of proof. The NFC East last year was the absolute worst. This year, stats are saying that they are not. Dallas Cowboys look to be great. Philadelphia Eagles beat the dog shit out of the AFC or NFC South Atlanta Falcons, so it might be a different year for the NFC East as a whole, but tonight, I'm excited for us to really get a chance to see Danny Dimes in a make-or-break year. This is a make-or-break year for Danny Dimes, I think. I think it has been. I think there was a lot of hype. He was drafted a lot higher than I think a majority of the humans out in the world thought he was going to get drafted. When he got drafted, people lost their minds. Who's this guy? Then everybody came out. No, he's Eli. He's this. He's more athletic. He's just as fast as Lamar Jackson.
True. Right.
He's this freak athlete. He's doing all this stuff. Now it's coming to the time, though, where is it him? Is it the situation? Is it Jason Garrett's play calls? Is it that offensive line? Is it the turnover? Or is it a combination of all of those things? Or is Danny Dimes not a guy? I think a lot of those questions can still be asked. I'm a big fan of Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
Danny Dimes made me a lot of money with his freak athleticism that doesn't really get talked about much because Jason Garrett, and I think in the Giants history, hasn't really called designed runs for him to really showcase that whole thing. It always is broken plays. And he tripped over himself one time on national television, but that son of a bitch can glide.
Oh, yeah.
And on the other side, Heineke, Chase Young, Ron Rivera, that Washington football team almost surprised the world last year in the playoffs, almost beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winners. That's what Bruce Arians said.
Oh, yeah.
So they did come back and win that game. But this Washington football team against a tough Chargers team wasn't able to stop them at the end of the game. So they got a lot of questions to be answered as well. I think we're in for a good one tonight. I'm excited for tonight's Thursday night football game. And I can't wait to dive in and bet all over this whole damn thing.
It does feel like a something's got to give game. We talked about that a little bit off air. I mean, Danny Dimes, he's 4-0 against the Washington football team. But the Giants, they're 0-6 on Thursday Night Football since 2015. So something's got to give here tonight. I mean, it's tough. Danny Dimes is a fumbling machine, and he's got two very, very difficult edge rushers to compete with tonight. So we'll see. We'll see. Who knows what's going to happen.
I completely forgot about one of our guests today, Mike Tomlin, talking to Chase Young and saying, I ain't never going to lose enough games to get somebody who looks like you on the field. All right, dap up. See you later. Have a good one. See you. That's real. Chase Young, immediate game changer as soon as he stepped on an NFL field.
Yeah.
Last year, what play was it? What game was it?
Niners, I believe, where he just...
He picked the ball up in stride with one hand, just threw his arm down. Give me that. And then it was one of the smoothest, most athletic things I've ever seen in my life. And then he started listening to people talk about him. He's a stud. He's a guy. Here we go. Now he's probably a leader over there as well with some turnover. Got a little bit of a younger team. Yeah. Terry McLaurin, he's going to make some plays. I mean, there is a game to be had tonight. Those two records, by the way, Danny Dimes and then Washington football team record and the primetime record and everything like that. I mean, something is going to have to give. This past weekend, when I hit the anvil, Colts were undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Colts were also completely defeated in season opener since 2014. Something had to give.
Yeah, something's got to give game.
I lost. My record lost. And I'll have to turn that around, obviously. I will have to turn that around. But in this particular one, what will it be? Will it be the primetime Danny Dimes? Will it be the Washington football team Danny Dimes? I don't know. I have real questions. And Heineke gets a start for the first time since that playoff game. He's a guy who has a lot of swagger, a lot of moxie. I think the team likes him. If you remember the mic'd up situation last year with Chase Young, he actually went out to Heineke and said, like, this is what Heineke, I love this guy. Like, people in the locker room seem to love him. He might make this thing special. I don't know if it's been put up yet onto the site. It is not.
Okay.
Come on.
I got a pretty cool risk-free bet that everybody's going to be able to hit tonight.
Risk-free?
Yeah, risk-free. I do believe it for everybody.
Whoa.
Not just first-time users, for everybody. We got risk-free bets.
Wow.
I do believe the same game parlay is up on FanDuel.
Here we go.
In Indianapolis, in Indiana, it might take a little bit longer.
PA.
And Pennsylvania. You might have to exit out of the app and get back in there. $10 risk-free same game parlay. All you got to do is press the button and you just tail us.
Nice.
Let's go.
Now
Let's
we
hit
go.
this thing. $10. Win. I think it's 162 for this particular one.
Damn.
I think 139 maybe. I forget. We had to dance because they did give us rules. They did give us rules.
Yeah.
Hey, it can't be. Hey, let's not fucking get out of control. That's basically what FanDuel is. Hey, you need to
Take it easy.
All right, if we're going to do this, let's dance a little bit. Here are some rules, and I appreciate that. We couldn't go above plus 2,000. Had to be between 3 and 5 legs. Couldn't be more than that. Below plus 400. So if these odds change and they get below plus 400, they will refund everybody. We cannot go below plus 400. That would be business suicide, basically, is what they're saying. Max bet for the risk-free same-game parlay, $10. It is refundable, obviously, if we lose. And then all users are eligible after opting in. Shout out to FanDuel. Let's fucking go get this cash, homie.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And to what it is, you can zoom in on that thing so I can get the exact thing. Over 40.5 total points. Danny Dimes over 20.5 rushing yards. Taylor Heineke over 22.5 rushing yards. And Logan Thomas, tight end for Washington, over 48.5 receiving yards. I think Heineke favors his tight end in his first game back. I mean, your tight end is normally the guy. I think he was the second behind Terry McLaurin last. 48.5 yards sounds like something that's going to happen. And also with the incredible secondary for the Giants right now, they revamped the secondary. The tight ends are going to be on linebacker. I just feel like this is going to be something that's going to happen. I feel good about this parlay.
Very good.
Hey, let's go get this money.
Here we go. Especially Logan Thomas. You got to assume that they're just going to be focused on Terry McLaurin, especially after that ridiculous catch last week against the Chargers.
That was insane.
He's so good. So let's focus on him. Let's let Logan Thomas eat.
And by the way, Terry McLaurin is known. He's been good since the beginning. Remember, out of nowhere, he said, I want to speak to the team or whatever. Not a captain. I think he was a rookie. And Ron Rivera, I think, was like, yeah, fuck, go ahead and do what you got to do. And the team reacted. The team responded as opposed to shut up or whatever. So they got great young leadership over there. But maybe the Giants got beat by a great team last week in the Denver Broncos. Who knows? Excited for it. Washington, New York Giants. AJ, I believe you said you liked the Washington football team earlier, like about an hour ago. Has anything changed your mind on that? Do you think that the Giants maybe played against an incredible Denver Broncos squad last week, and maybe what they shown then was not going to be what they show for the rest of the season? Joe Judge has them boys running laps, doing push-ups, getting after it. He's jumping on fumbles in the middle of the rain and the mud. You still feel good about the Washington football team? Have we been able to persuade you at all to lean towards the Giants, or what is your overall thoughts on this thing?
No, I'm still leaning towards Washington, and I would lean for them to cover the 3.5 as well. I just think that defensive line, that defense for Washington's too disruptive, man.
Hey, I like that you're a prognosticator. I like what you're doing because just about a week ago you were having some deep meta moment where you were like, what do we even make predictions?
No, because you were asking me to pick
why do we even
Super
do
Bowl.
this,
Why do we even try to guess what's going to happen in this world? Because we're filled with X factors and what ifs and who knows why, especially with COVID. Why are we even doing predictions? And now you're like, hey, hammer the Washington football team. Welcome back. Hey, great to have you. There was a moment there where we were wondering what the fuck happened.
No, I've told you before, I've gone off the lines. Remember, a couple of times I've told you, I just don't feel good about the line. The Bucks opening week, I didn't feel good about 8.5, 9.5, as you guys said they were going to win by 200. Sometimes you don't feel good about those huge lines.
Oh, the Minnesota game, they ended up covering anyways.
Of course.
That was the first game. And I think you actually said, you feel good about that one. Then the Oregon one you were not with, and we all thought they were going to win by 100 at home in front of the shoe.
I told you I didn't feel good about the 14 points.
In the shoe, with the eye potentially being dotted, and then all of a sudden you're like, nah, I wouldn't bet that. And then I said, OH, and you just left the ducks on the pond there and didn't say anything back. And then that drum major, you don't think that when he was running with that big-ass hat, all that karma wasn't cooking up in there for him? Oh, yeah, eat that pavement, pal. You don't think that all the things that you have said on this show about the Buckeyes is potentially why things like this happen in the universe? Shout out to The Alchemist, just kind of telling you, like, hey, you need to be a better person. You haven't thought about that at all?
I guess I haven't given it much thought.